Hey everybody, we are here with Maverick this morning. Maverick and I are working on pressure and release, some healing, and some work with distractions. Right now he's currently watching my cat. He's very distracted by the cat. There's also some people working across the field, and he's been really distracted by that. So Maverick has some resource guarding issues that we are currently working on. So making sure, hang on a second. Maverick. So making sure that he understands that he is not at the top of the totem pole and he is not in control of resources is really important. He needs to know that he has a handler, that he can follow their lead. He doesn't need to guard things, that those are actually our things, and we're actually letting him use them. He didn't go out and buy those bowls for himself. He didn't buy a bag of food. He didn't buy his treats. He didn't buy his toys. You bought all of those for him. You're actually just letting him use them. So he has to understand that he can't just, snap at things. Granted, he's been doing okay with toys. I haven't really tempted him a lot, though, because, again, don't poke the bear. Really, he's only had a little bit of issues with guarding his food bowl while he's in his crate. So we have switched to doing hand feeding with him so that he really understands that I'm in control of the resources, and if he wants to eat today, all he has to do is listen to the commands that I ask him to do. Now, the more repetitions he does of all of his commands, the better he's going to get at them, the better your handling skills are going to be, the more reliable Maverick is going to be, and the better he's going to feel, because a dog like him, he is a working breed. He is a cattle dog. So he has to have a job to do on a regular basis, or he's going to find an outlet for that energy. Now, he might just be getting really frustrated in his mind because he's overstimulated, and guarding is just an outlet for that. So giving him a way to feel comfortable, happy about himself, confident about himself is really key to his training. So he's a really smart boy. He's picking up on all of his commands really fast. He pretty much knows the basics. It's really more like 90% of the dogs that come here. It's not, do they know what the command means? It's getting them to do it reliably. And that comes with repetition and consistency on my part. So making sure that you understand that your dog is a dog and he's going to do whatever feels natural and comfortable to him on a daily basis. If we want a different output, we have to be the ones to show him that this is what we want from him, right? So being a handler and telling him this is what I want from you is important. We can't just let him do what he wants all the time and then it always be, no, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong. Then he's going to start getting frustrated, like, well, when am I ever doing it right, So we want to make sure, so I always use a leash, especially in the beginning of training. I use a leash in the house to make sure that I have 100% follow through with anything I ask of them to do. If they're working on potty training, I'm right there and I can see if they're about to use the bathroom. Maverick likes to pick up a lot of items, socks, garbage can, tissue, whatever he can find, he will pick it up. So we're really working on that. So having a leash on him allows me to not let that behavior start, rather than correcting the behavior once it's already happened. So as soon as he sees a garbage can and he starts sniffing it, there's zero reason that Maverick needs to be smelling a garbage can. The only thing that's going to happen is he's going to find something, he's going to tear it up, he's going to take it out of the garbage can, he's going to run away with it, and then he's not going to let you have it. We've missed a lot of opportunities for training at that point. So making sure that I stop behaviors. As soon as he goes to the trash can, I'm doing an off command with him so that he knows, no, there's nothing there that's appropriate for you. You don't even need to be sniffing it. So we're stopping it before it progresses. If he does have an item that isn't his, rather than me going over there and trying to steal it from him, especially a dog that has possession issues, you are putting your hand in the line of fire there. You do not want to do that. If he has an item that isn't his, one, we're going to be using his e-collar, so we have a way to get his attention. If he's more interested in the sock, let's say. You're going to be able to take a step back, and if he's chewing on the sock, right, I'm going to say off. If he doesn't drop it, I'm going to say Maverick, Come. Yes, good boy. Right, so if he had the sock, I would make sure he drops it, right? And I would do that by using spatial pressure and saying off, right? I'm not going to hold it and try and tear it from his mouth. None of that. He needs to understand that when I say off, he releases the item, and then I would just use my foot to kind of swoosh it away. And then I would go, okay, come on, yes, good boy, right? So again, we're kind of stopping behavior before it starts. That is key. But yeah, so really what I wanted to just kind of show you is how well he's doing with his healing. He was a bit of a puller in the beginning, pretty normal for most of the dogs that start with us. They're just used to kind of just doing what they want, smelling. So now he understands what pressure and release means on the slip lead. He's doing really well with that. So he knows when pressure turns on, butt hits ground, pressure goes away right away. So he picked up on that pretty quick, and now it's just about, applying that to now we're moving. So he got up before anybody said heel or okay. So I reapplied pressure, and this is my communication line with him now, okay? So verbal, you can see I've been talking this whole time, and it hasn't made any interest in him, right? But as soon as I got his attention by moving and I gave him just a little bit of a pop on this, he realized, oh, pressure's on. I know what that means, sit, right? So we're telling him, calm down. You've calmed down. So notice I don't need to say the word sit to him ever, because what we're doing is we're teaching him to go into a calmer state of mind when pressure turns on. And we don't know that that's happened with dogs until we see a change in their physical self, which is going to be going into a submissive pose of a sit position. It's a calmer position. So now that he's in a calmer state of mind, right now, if I tried to move forward, he would not move with me, right? He would want to go to wherever he's sniffing right now, right? So before I even start moving, I have to take control of the situation before it gets worse, right? Maverick, yes, good boy. Okay, heel. So I had his attention. Now, as soon as we took off, you see he went a little ahead. So I gave him a little slow down, like a pop, right? So you're going to think of your leash as a traffic light, okay? You have a red light. It's a full-on stop and calm down. He sits, pressure goes away. Okay. Your green light is when you have this nice U shape right there, and he's following you. So he should be just slightly behind you, right about there, so that you can make a clean left turn. So even right there, we bumped it just a little bit, but that's okay. That's what it's all about. You can make clean left turns with him following your lead. So this is playing a game of follow the leader right now, and Maverick should always be watching and following you. This isn't just we're taking a walk right now to get physical exercise. You're also giving him mental stimulation by making him think, look, I'm going here, we're going this fast, we're stopping now, there's a distraction, look at me, right? So we're constantly making his brain work while we're moving at the same time. So there's my cat again, and he's doing really well. No pressure on the leash. He's doing great. Your key is to have, when you want to do loose leash healing, you have to have a loose leash. Pressure can only be turned on if you're saying stop, and then you're going to physically stop moving. You're going to hold steady tension. It's very light force, really only a pinky's or a finger's worth of pressure. That's all you need. Less is more. If he learns this little force of pressure means I need to stop moving right now, he's only going to get slightly ahead of you before he realizes that. So you can see right there, just tiny bit of pressure. It stopped him from moving. It's okay that he's not sitting yet. I'm going to get his attention by moving a little bit and adding what we call spatial pressure. So this is a second form of pressure. Rather than adding more tension on the leash, I'm blocking him from distractions. See, notice as soon as he looked at me, he was like, oh, pressure, and he turned and he sat down immediately. So he knows what pressure means, just like he knows what sit means. He knows what place means. We're working on that. But he knows what the commands mean. It's more just how do I be an appropriate handler for him and get him to focus on me so that he does these commands properly. Right, so that is a big part of training. I used to say 50% of training is training the owner, but now I kind of switched to almost 75% of training a dog is training the owner, because, like I said before, a dog is going to naturally do what a dog wants to do. If we want different, we have to show them different. We can't have this idea of what we want our dog to be in our head and not display that to them of this is what I want from you and expect him to just do it, right? That's what training is. And it takes time. It takes practice. It takes repetition, consistency, trust. These are all big keys in training. Just like if you were training for a marathon, you wouldn't just immediately go from you don't exercise ever to running, a 5K or, whatever it may be. You need to train and you need to consistently work at it. If you take too much time off, you kind of lose that momentum and you have to start all over again. The better you do, the longer you can go, the faster you get, the better you feel, the longer you can go. All of that just coincides exactly with training your dog. So even if they know how to do it, you have to keep going because they're going to keep getting better and better and better. You can't just kind of be relaxed about it where, okay, he did training and now we're just going to go back to how we used to act at home before. Because he's going to fall right back into this is how I used to act here and this is how I'm going to continue to act here. So the first week or two, especially when he comes back home, is going to be crucial to you guys working together as a team to show him that what he's learned at my house now goes at your house as well. So as you can see, one thing I didn't mention with the traffic lights, like I said, we have red light, full pressure on until his butt hits ground. Nothing else turns pressure off except for his butt hitting the ground. I'd rather not say the word SIT, right? Okay, so that's our red light. I showed you our green light. That means that we have a nice U shape, a loose leash. You should be able to hold it on your fingertips. You never want to close your fists because what happens is there's no way for your leash to slide in and out because you need a loose leash. So learning how to hold it appropriately is important. We just kind of hold it on our fingertips like that. And then your yellow light is that pop. So you're going to use the yellow light while you're still moving. It's not something to do when you stop and then you just go like this and stop moving. That would be a red light. If you're going to stop moving and he's too far ahead and you need him to full on calm down, we're going to add red light. Now he'll get faster with this, of course, as we continue to keep practicing. I won't need to add spatial pressure. Probably in the next day or two, he'll get better about that. And then your yellow light, okay. So your yellow light is like right there. As soon as he went to go past this little line right there, see how he's in front of my knee right now? All I did was basically say, pay attention with that pop, right? So I said, you're not focusing on where I am. So it's got to be a quick on and off. You can use a little bit of force. It's okay to say, pop. You don't want to do these like long pull and releases. It's a nice quick pop of your leash, right? So pop. Turns are also very important. So you're going to have stop, pop, and change directions. Changing directions is really important. Okay, so the reason this is so important is because a dog is going to lose focus on you really quick if we continue going in this straight line. Notice Maverick isn't really looking at me at all. Granted, yes, he's going my pace and he's heeling nicely. Heel means walk with me at my pace. It's a focus on me command. So if he's not watching me, he's not technically doing a nice heel. So he should be a little bit more focused on me. So it's hard to do it with my phone, but when I stop, I'll be doing some hand feeding with him to keep him intrigued, to walk with me and interested in me rather than the distractions around him. But all in all, so when we turn, left-hand turns are great because what happens is if he's too far ahead, he's going to get bumped into. So if I make clear left turns, don't kind of go like this and try and like go around him. That's not the point of a turn. You want to bump into him when you turn. You want to show him, nope, I just decided to go this way and you weren't paying attention, so you got bumped into, right? So I make clear left turns. When I do take-home lessons, sometimes I like to even draw a square or a circle of chalk on the road to have my clients learn to do these nice, harsh turns, really, to get him to realize, oh, I got to focus. She's all over the place right now, right? If we just go in a straight line, it's really easy to lose focus on me. So left-hand turns are good because it forces him to realize I'm not paying attention. Right-hand turns are going to be good for your handling skills and to learn how to use, excuse my cat again, and to learn how to use your leash properly. So this is a great example. So right now, if I were to close my fists, he has total full pressure. That is never what you want to see on your slip lead, okay? You always want loose. Notice he could have been pulling me right there, but he can also be standing here with no pressure, right? So instead of using my leash all the time to get him to focus on me, I'm going to use myself to get him to focus on me. Don't make your tool everything, right? If you have to use your tool to communicate all the time, then you're always going to need that tool to get him to continue to focus on you. So learning to do right hand turns and not closing your fist, but letting this slide out, and him realizing, oh, right, let me do that a little nicer. Okay, so we get going. So we do left turns to bump, and then right turns. Good boy. So he actually did really good with that. Okay, so right. Good boy. So he's doing really good. But notice the leash slides out. Good job, Mav. Yes. Good job, buddy. Right, so that was perfect. Instead of using my leash to make him say, keep walking with me, I said, yes, good job, good boy. And I kept him interested. Told him he was doing a good job. Make him happy to walk with me, make him excited. Right, so right hand turns. Oh, he's doing so good. I can't even demonstrate. Okay, so that was perfect. He slides out. He didn't realize, and I can just do a pop and release. Okay, so we turn. He doesn't realize. Pop, release. Never pull him, okay? You're not going to want to pull him to where you're going to go. You can't teach him that pressure means stop and pressure means go. So it has to be, Maverick, yes, good job. Maverick, good boy. Okay, so I can do all this without the leash. Maverick, good boy. Turn, yes. Excellent. Heel. Okay, so just a little pop right there. So see how little I can use the leash? He just got a little ahead. Using just verbal wasn't going to help me there, right? So when you use verbal, you're really using a lot of tone with it. Using your leash allows you to communicate. Calm down. Pay attention. Okay? Good job, man. Pay attention. Okay, so all in all, he's doing fantastic. I'm really proud of all the progress that he's making. Like I said, he's only been with us for just shy of a week now. A couple of days, he'll be here for 1 week. So we still have a few more weeks to go. So he's going to get better and better. But yeah, so if you have any questions so far, feel free to call, text, ask away. And if anybody else needs help with their dogs, please give us a call today. We would love to help you guys out like we are with Mr. Maverick here. Hope everyone has a great day.